Well, here we go. It's another one.
Yep, another episode.
It's a less Kevin, more tech from UTECit.com.
That's right.
Podcast. Here we go. And this is going to be a fun one because two reasons, right?
Yep.
We have our first remote podcast going, right? So we're here and we've got our guests in the station. But not only that, we've got probably one of the premier people from our industry.
Yeah. A rock star.
Rock star.
Right.
That we were able to hoodwink and convince to get on this show, weren't we? Right?
Yeah, and she hasn't found out what a decision that was yet.
Not yet.
So this negotiation went with like, hey, Mr. X, we'll do some podcasting with you, and we'll give you guys this great platform to launch your stuff on, and we'll discount it, but only if you send your daughter to our podcast, right? And
that was the closing deal.
Like that, right out there he went. So
he was. Wait a minute though, but when you said, he did say my daughter. I don't know if I want to subject her to this.
That's true.
I'll give you my son, but not my daughter, right?
Exactly.
So with that being said, we've got the one lady in our industry that Laura Blackmer's always said when she grows up, she wants to be like this lady, right? So
Powerhouse.
Yeah. Introduce her, Les.
Jenna Stramaglio, everybody. Jenna, welcome.
Hello, you gentlemen. I cannot think of a better way to start my Friday morning than with you two handsome people here. So I appreciate it. And I'm going to blame Mike for this podcast suggestion.
Yeah.
So.
When you say handsome guys, is there like a filter behind this, like that Zoom thing? I'm not a cat,
Well, I'm just being nice today. So, you can ease me into this podcast, so that's your one and only compliment there.
So, Jenna, we see the Chicago Cubs football jersey behind
Bears.
Or Bears. Thank you.
This guy doesn't know ESPN exists. So, that's a
I'd like to thank our sponsor.
That's a Chicago Bears jersey. Yeah, and that guy, number 34, is a pretty decent player for him, right?
Yeah, he's pretty well known, Walter Payton.
So where are you coming in from? Where are you?
I am sitting in the most lovely city in America, Junction City, Kansas, and it is, let me tell you, in the middle of nowhere. If you point your finger directly in the center of the United States, that's where I'm sitting. So I'm sitting in Kansas. I'm going to be moving here in the next couple of months, so this is home for now.
So where's the Mahomes jersey?
Okay, I'm not a bandwagon. I like the pain and torture of being a Bears fan, okay? I can't just jump on a winning team, all right? This is nearly 40 years in the working here of being a Bears fan, so, yeah, it's rough.
Well, you'll get very little
You're
sympathy
talking to
here.
a Detroit Lions fan.
Detroit guys, So,
so why don't you start us out? Tell us a little bit, about your, career. Like Kevin said, everybody in the industry knows you, and so
knows and loves her, right?
Knows and loves her.
Ooh.
So just give us a little brief background.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't know if everybody loves me, but they sure do know me, and that's probably because of Mike and not me. But I started out,
Wait a second. Mike always says, I owe everything, to my family and what have you. So
that's true.
Right? So
that's true. I shouldn't be cutting him down.
Right. You're responsible for his success.
Oh, that's good. I'll get off this podcast. We'll give him a call. 3 of us. We'll just remind him of that.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, cool. Could be my agents. But no, I like to tell people I truly was born in a house that had a copy machine in it. Back in the day, that was Mike's. He started out as a trainer at Minolta at the time. And my brother and I were smashing our faces against the glass. And we had this big machine in our house. And that's how it started. And after college, I actually, like you, went to Arizona State, graduated. Yeah. And like any smart marketing person, I decided to go door to door and try and sling some copiers. I don't know why that was a good idea, but I ended up working for one of my most favorite mentors, Frank Gaspari. He's just, I have some wild stories about him and how he trains his people, and it's fantastic. It's a
Is there anything
testament
that you're going to share this morning?
I can remember one thing.
Has Frank signed, released the NDA?
No, I brought him in because, all the new sales reps, he's like, hey, you want me to do a sales call with you? Blah, blah, blah. I'll come in. And, Frank's just like, go, 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 go. And I'm like, young 21-year-old Jenna. I'm like, sure, come on in, Frank. It's my biggest deal. So it's like 10 machines, right? I'm like 3 months into the job, huge deal for me. And Frank sits down and he's next to the CEO and he goes, look, I'm not putting a gun to your head, but if I had a gun to your head, would you make this deal today? And I'm sitting here thinking, dear God, this has been 3 months of like in the making. But that was, and I'm sure he doesn't do that anymore, but he always used to say, gun to your head, you're going to make this decision. And that's a funny way to close a deal. But thankfully, the guy, the CEO at that time, he just laughed and he was like, you know what, Frank? Yeah, we're doing this deal today. Right. And we ended up closing the deal. So it worked.
So actually, I think that could be a title of a new sales training program.
Gun to your head, right?
Yeah, the gun to your head.
Yeah.
Gotta jot that one down.
Started off selling copiers, kind of worked my way through that cycle. And then I landed with EFI. In like the marketing kind of aspect, did that for a little bit. I was also doing a little contract work for some of the manufacturers on the marketing side because I moved from when I left COTG, I went back to Arizona. So I was in Chicago, moved back to Arizona, did some contract work, and my dad's VP of marketing actually was contacting me. You got to work for us. You got to work for us. You got to work for us. And that's when I joined MWA. So in 2006, 7, a little bit later is when I joined MWA. That's where I kind of cut my teeth with everything else software. So I did that until Kannel acquired us in July of 2018.
Wow.
And worked for them until most recently, about a month ago, I moved over to ConnectWise. And it has been, I tell John, it was the most natural and easiest decision, I think, for where I was in my career. Forza's in good hands. It's with a great parent company. They're situated just perfectly. And Mike's baby is Forza, right? And as was mine. We educated the marketplace. We were talking about everything. So it just felt really good to move over.
So you're a sibling.
Yeah, exactly. So it was perfect. And I needed a little bit, I wanted to go where the world was going, right? And cyber is where the world is going. And it was a good adjacent move for me. I could still work with you guys. I get to see you at all the events. I'm still going to be working hand in hand with the dealer community. I could not abandon this imaging channel. I just can't do it. I awesome. Love this channel too much. The dealers are just too fantastic. They're too great. They transform so easily. They move to where the market is going. And I talk, all these young people who are like, copiers, imaging channel. I'm like, no, time out. This is a great channel to get into, a wonderful way to grow your career, truly. And I think that's the most important thing, especially for young people when they, when I'm talking to them about what they want to do and where they want to go, and they never think like, oh yeah, copiers and the print channel and M&S and IT services. It's just not on their radar. So I'm a huge advocate for this channel.
If you think about that, what you're saying, because when you take a territory, you got to have work ethic, right? You have to understand business development. You have to understand negotiation.
Gun to the head.
You got
it's pretty easy to negotiate.
You got to learn about putting a gun to somebody's head. There's all sorts of. I mean, seriously, for somebody who's young, who's coming out that wants to have a career in business, what a great first step. Those are good pointers.
It's huge. It's absolutely huge. You get to really own your own career, and that's something that I think when where you're young, you want to get in a big corporation and either a small entrepreneurial type of company, which is great. Those are all great options. But to own your own career, you really can go up and down and sideways in this industry. So it's really great.
That is awesome. So, thank you for that point.
And you didn't just rest on your last name. You came in, you embraced it, right? And you learned it.
Yeah.
And, I mean, there's not a better ambassador. And it's sincere. You really do love the channel, don't you?
I really do. I've embarrassed myself plenty with successes and failures, and I think I've earned my stripes in this channel. which is good. So now you can't get rid of me. That's it. I'm in it for life.
But you can still flex against your brother, right? As far as who can sell more MFPs, right?
Yes. Oh yes, that story will live with me in infamy.
Well, I got to hear the story now.
So the reason
Oh, now you start something. Pick that scab.
This is good, and I can't wait to show my brother this. But basically, when I graduated from college, he was a couple years ahead of me, and he took a job with Rico, and he was in LA, and he was killing it. I mean, he's the kind of sales rep, which is totally different than me, is that annoying sales rep where you're like, yeah, I'll freaking buy from you if you go away, right? That's how he is, just incessant. So he won all the trips. He was going to the Bahamas and Hawaii and all over the place. And he goes, Jenna, this is too hard. You can't do this. This is not for you. And I was like, all right, bro. So I took a job with COTG, and I ended up in this channel because of Mike Jr., not Mike Sr. Believe it or not. Yeah, he actually had a really long, really terrific career, but it was because of him. He actually went into one of my accounts, and this is a good story, a good lesson. I sold, it was for the American Marketing Association in Chicago. I called my brother because I was selling, Rico machines. He goes, I got this deal, da-da-da-da-da. It's with American Marketing Association. That asshole called. He ended up taking half of my machines. He called the woman and said, look, I'm going to teach my sister a lesson. And so I go in there the next day to get ink on paper, and she goes, ooh, well, this deal is only for, 10 machines, not the full 20. I called my brother, and he actually sold half of my account. He goes, never, ever, ever rejoice that you got a deal until you have ink on paper. And let me tell you something, never had done that again. Never, ever. Yeah. So yeah, he's a real treat.
Yeah.
I love it.
Jr. Yeah. Brotherly love and sisterly love.
Yeah, there it is.
I've always thought you can't count the deal till the commission check clears.
That's even better.
That's always
so
been
accurate.
my thought.
All right, so here we go. It's going right off the cliff now.
Yeah, it is.
Oh boy.
We're going over. Hold on. So you are now at ConnectWise. Mm-hmm. You got a great company you're working with.
We love them.
You got John Schweitzer there. You got a great guy to work with, right?
Yes.
So you can take the hostage picture off the LinkedIn profile you have. You know what I mean? You're no longer with All Covered. You get to smile. Like, give us this picture on that LinkedIn page.
Do you know how many people have said, Jenna, why do you have a prison picture on your LinkedIn? And I'm like, all right, I got to change it apparently. But you're right. You're not the first person. This is very embarrassing for me.
Well, we don't want to embarrass you. We're having fun with you. All right, we're not embarrassing you.
No.
So it is off the rails at this point.
Yep. Change LinkedIn picture.
No. Well, no, and I mean it's serious. Not your picture, but John's a great guy, right? And ConnectWise got a lot of good things going for him. We're a user of ConnectWise, and
we sell fantastic company.
Yeah, we got a lot of good products. So maybe talk to us about what it's been a month now, 6 weeks there.
Yeah, it's been just about a month. So John, obviously, fantastic, and opportunity arose where we can kind of join forces here. And he hired me on as a channel development manager. And I have two tasks, two big roles. One is to help John in the channel, right? Be committed to the dealers, make sure that we're helping you as best we can with all things ConnectWise, right? And we're going to talk a little bit about cyber here in a minute. And my second big position, big responsibility is going to be growing out the cyber channel with Perch in government contracts and making sure that we're discussing cybersecurity as a whole. So those are going to intersect, right? We're going to be talking and making sure that we're taking care of the dealer, but also cyber. If it's not on your radar, it should be on your radar, right?
Absolutely.
Like this is something that whether it's your personal consumer in your own home or you're out and about in Starbucks or hotels or wherever you are, every day you should be thinking about whether or not you're protected and whether or not you can get hit and what you should do thereafter, right? So I think for dealers, it's something that they're thinking about, but it's very difficult to make that plunge to commit. And that's where ConnectWise really can help. We have the ability. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Les.
No, I was going to say, I'm a full agreement with you. We've put out, we've got 4 videos on our website with Aaron Gergel, just speaking to our customers about personal maintenance in your own world to protect against cyber. So we've taken it at that individual level, and then he's developed a tech stack that's customized for businesses, and we actually have productized a tech stack focused strictly to cyber, and of which case your organization is a huge partner in that with us. In addition to the standard managed IT services that we offer, but so I'm in full agreement with the direction you're going.
Yeah, it's really exciting. It's a departure from what I've done in the past. But as I, started to talk to John, and it really opened the doors to me on what's going on in the world. And obviously with the Russia-Ukraine problem, it was in everybody's the back of their mind. And now it's every single day. It's something that is apparent. And I think for the dealers, it's difficult to make that decision or find the right guy to carry that cyber flag and sell that stack into your partner base and client base. And that's where ConnectWise can help. We've got dedicated people, up to 30 people that can help co-sell with you and really start to break into the discussions of cyber and selling cyber into your client base. So it's a great program. And it's when I first started, I'm going through all the training. I'm like, dear God, I'm exposed. Like,
right. That
that's the only thing about it, right? You do feel, ooh.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So that's actually the reason we put those videos out. Is at the personal level, because there's a lot that you can do as an individual. In addition to what at a company level, but that's so we're great fans. We appreciate that support. A bit of trivia: the SOC for your organization, it runs into, I think it's close to 50-some billion instances.
I think it's 56 billion we're up to that we manage. It's insane.
Per
it's
day.
a big number. Yeah.
Per day.
Yeah.
So
per
that's
day.
that's how big the threat is. And part of the service that you offer, right, is that immediate remediation. At our clients. So a lot of times, we had a client who had an incident, and it was in the middle of the night on the weekend.
Yeah.
And it was all taken care of, and we went out and visited them Monday morning, told them, what had happened, told them how we had prevented it, and then began the manual remediation of the affected laptops.
Yeah,
See, I think it's fun to have these conversations with customers, because, we always say, raising kids, it takes a village, right? To get your kids out of there, you need neighbors, aunts and uncles, and friends like that to get them through. But we're the same way, they've got an IT department, but they take vacations, they get sick, they need help.
Yeah.
And it happens at night. Nobody does it, from 8 to 5. These guys are working on a different time clock. We need somebody watching our backs, and we need to be there to educate our customers. And it's a partnership, and it
really is.
Ego's got to get checked at the door. We got to work together.
Yep. It's awesome. It takes the liability. It takes the pressure and stress off, you guys, and knowing that ConnectWise is there to back what's going on at night. Like you said, attackers don't take time off. They don't care what day it is.
Yeah, there's not a time clock, punch in.
No. But it's, the other thing, John was talking about it a little bit, and this is a really good thing. And I didn't even think, to have a declination letter. If you're talking to some of these potential clients or, customers, and they opt out of cyber, and presenting them with a declination letter, I think it switches something in their brain to think, ooh, I'm signing this away, saying I'm not going to consume or protect myself. So then in a couple weeks or in a couple months, or if there is an incident, it's a trigger to have that conversation again. And I think that's a really important thing. It keeps the dealer safe. It keeps, the pressure and onus off you, and it puts it back on the client to secure themselves. So very interesting stuff. Yeah.
So let's talk about your second initiative.
Yes. So second initiative, this is a brand new channel for me, right? So where I'm comfortable is with you guys. This is like my warm blanket. I love being with the dealers. But my second, and this is a very big role for me. It's, ConnectWise acquired Perch. They bought Perch in, I think it was 2019. So the Perch software is something that ConnectWise acquired. COVID hit. We're managing the Perch software. We're managing their client base. And there's a huge opportunity. Basically, the White House put out executive orders, and they have these different ISACs, information sharing analysis centers, and essentially all of like federally mandated type of companies have to abide within these ISAC regulations. So there's like a healthcare ISAC and a financial ISAC and credit union ISAC, and they have to have, by executive order, software that basically communicates back to the White House any data vulnerabilities, any leaks, anything that could potentially put them at risk. And Perch is the software that allows them to continue business, to abide by these regulations. And that's actually the channel that I'm going to be working to grow out. So it's brand new events, brand new set of affiliations, and, quote unquote, kind of like dealer groups. So the different, finance, healthcare, whatever it is. But that is where I'm going to spend the majority of my time. Very technical group of people. It's an extremely unique situation that I've never been in, where you have even hotels or hospitals.
You gotta get Kevin involved in that. As soon as you said highly technical,
that's it. Me and you, Kevin, we're taking a road trip.
Arm in arm, we're going.
We'll definitely crush it.
Yeah, we'll crush something.
So that's really my main focus. But you will see me. I'm going to continue to work with John on the dealer side, BTA, CDA, SDG, all those meetings and events and groups. I'm still going to obviously represent ConnectWise and the solutions that we have. So
back to that second initiative. What I heard you say is you're developing distribution channels.
That's eventually what we're working towards. Right. I didn't say that. You read between the lines there, didn't you?
Yeah. So is today the situation is that it's a direct sale?
It is.
Right. And so the strategy.
So that's different than what ConnectWise is used to, right?
Right.
So it's a whole different program.
Right. So the strategy then, as I understand it, you are now going to be responsible for recruiting and developing a proper distribution channel.
That's correct.
So what in your eye, what does a good distributor look like? For lack of a better word, what how do you know who to look for? Because it's
and you put her on the spot. Yeah,
I know
enough to get up in the morning.
It's her second initiative.
Yeah,
it is. It's a huge initiative. And immediately when I was talking to John, I was like, we need to find a dealer channel.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And mirror the same thing really on the Perch, on this, call it government side. Right. And what's interesting is that when we go to these events, people actually know ConnectWise because they're MSPs and, they're aware of it. They're consuming the ConnectWise product, but they don't know about Perch. And so if I'm an outsider, which I am because I'm kind of new and looking in, I'm thinking we have, depending on the day, let's call it 1,200, 1,300 dealers out there. It could be, fluctuate depending on what's going on in the marketplace. But you have a vehicle right now that is using ConnectWise. They have access to this client base already, right? In a different capacity. So why can't we mirror, mimic, or at least maybe kind of use that as use you guys as a vehicle to break into this channel as well. But obviously brand new, there might be a different vehicle, a different distributor. But if it was up to me and my comfort level and understanding how aggressive the dealers are, they're hungry, right? Cyber is on the radar of the dealers who know how important it is. So it's a natural progression to use the dealers and work with the dealers to break into this. And it's a win-win for the dealers in my mind, right? Yeah. You have the ability to talk up and down on their network, what you're putting on there, whether it's hardware or software, and it opens a discussion to have a really good business development / technical discussion to keep these people safe. But, this is week 4. And next week I might have a different answer for you. So.
Are you over quota yet? Anyway, hey, so I find it fascinating because what you're talking about is looking into an existing channel. You're probably gonna have to do a lot of education.
Huge.
Yeah. So education, and then also developing sales tools.
Yeah.
To help get the message out. So you're going to have your hands full.
It's going to be very fun. The good thing, and as I was telling John, there's the certified program for cyber that ConnectWise has. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it, and you can be.
He's certified on the sales
certified. I'm certified.
You didn't do the master class, though, did you? The master class is a year. Do you have that commitment?
Oh, master class. I'm good.
But
but that's next. We'll do the master class.
Yeah, get in it. So the small tools and some of the things that ConnectWise has already, I think, can parlay into what we're doing on the cyber side. But Kevin, congratulations. You're a cyber master.
Right. So, as a matter of fact, this is how good he is at cyber. He'll share with the audience his new password, and he'll show you how he's now using 16 characters. Right. So go ahead and tell him your password there.
I love Urban Meyer.
Somehow or another,
going to go a different way.
Somehow I don't doubt that as potentially his password.
Could be. Should we try it?
I don't know. Oh boy!
Thank you.
Went off the rails on that one.
Yes, we are.
That's all right.
Which is typically where this show is. Is off the rails.
But maybe it's a good spot to leave it right here. You know what I mean? So, hey, thank you, though, Jenna. We're excited to have you, and I know the folks at ConnectWise are tickled to have you there. You're going to do great things, and you're still in the industry, and you're going to make us better, and it's fun to see you at the events, and it's fun because the dealers trust you, right? Yeah. And so you can go have these conversations, you'll make us better, and you'll raise everybody in the business.
So one question I do have for you. What's it going to take for you to venture into Detroit area, Southeast Michigan, so that we can have a on-site in the studios podcast?
It looks like just some bourbon, Can you guys just, Jenna, meet here on this day, and we'll have a whole glass of bourbon for you. I'm very, it doesn't take much, either bourbon or wine, and I'm good,
we maybe. There we go. We got some stars coming in late July, so maybe we bring her up in late July, Les.
Yeah.
And do that for the Rocket Mortgage Classic. We've got Mike Maruzik's going to play in the Pro-Am. He's committed, and I think we've got a caddy lined up for him. If it holds true, because this guy's a very important guy like you in the industry.
Yes.
But Andy Seletsky's being hired out to be a caddy, I think, for Mike. So.
I need an invite to this.
Yes, you are invited. You are coming.
Yeah.
Mark it down. So we'll go through that later.
Yes, I'm in. That's
awesome. We'll get you the information in that, and you know what? Actually, you start to brainstorm around this in July. That's your 115-degree days.
It'll feel just like Arizona. Yeah.
Maybe we invite the person who owes all of the success to you.
You should make Mike a caddy. Can we do that?
Yeah, now we're building it up. Now we've got something cooking here.
I like these ideas.
Yes. Here we go. So before we go, we are trying. We got some friends at Resist Spirits that have sent us a bottle of FKNG bourbon. It's for I know. See where she's going. It's for kings, not gods, Jenna. All right, it's for kings, not gods. And they have some great vodka.
Yeah. ResistSpirits.com.
They're soon going to have some nice cigars and tequila. But in the interim, and I know maybe bourbon's not your flavor. You're more of a wine girl, aren't you?
I am.
Yeah. So
but I do have a favorite. I do like bourbon. So, I got to try.
What's your favorite?
I like Basil Hayden.
Ooh.
Like it.
Yeah,
it's good.
It's like a girly bourbon. I feel like a little bit light.
It's just a good one. A good one. So here's to Jenna, Mike, the Stramaglio family. Keep up the good things going out there. Best of luck at ConnectWise, and take care of John for us, would you?
Mm-hmm. Yes, absolutely. Thanks, guys.
He needs the care. Thank you.
See you. Bye-bye.